South Korea has issued swift condemnation after the North took further steps to cut their links. Pyongyang has blown up roads and rail lines connecting the two countries, prompting Seoul to fire warning shots near their border.
An explosion in the border town of Kaesong in North Korea before a sign that fittingly says goodbye. It's a message Pyongyang has been sending Seoul in recent weeks, but in what the South considers more provocative ways. More roads and rail lines connecting the two Koreas were blown up, with the North mobilizing its troops for the demolition. But the South was not just a silent witness to the detonation. Although the blast did not inflict any damage, and Seoul had been expecting them, troops fired warning shots south of the demarcation line.
오늘 북한의 경의선 동해선 북측 구간 남북 연결도로 폭파는 남북 합의의 명백한 위반이며 매우 비정상적 조치로서 우리 정부는 이를 강력히 규탄합니다.
It was just last week when the North announced it was cutting off the South and has now begun to demolish unused roads and rail lines linking the two countries. Pyongyang has also warned of a military response after accusing Seoul of flying drones into the North's capital to distribute propaganda. It added that another deployment would be a declaration of war. Kim Jong-un's sister insists they have clear evidence that the South was responsible for the drones. The South responded with a warning of its own that it would be the end of the regime if the safety of its citizens is threatened. But while observers raised doubts that the situation would escalate into large-scale attacks, such scenes are not new. 4 years ago, Pyongyang blew up an empty liaison office built by Seoul close to the border after civilians from the South distributed leaflets. Other demolition jobs were not as provocative. In 2018, there were explosions that demolished tunnels at its nuclear testing sites before talks resumed with then US President Donald Trump. And in 2008, it blew up a cooling tower at the main nuclear complex when a disarmament for aid scheme was still on the table with the US and other major world powers. China, North Korea's biggest source of economic assistance, says it's closely monitoring the situation. It says the priority is to avoid further escalation of conflict. But Beijing's call may fall on deaf ears as Kim Jong-un goes beyond rhetoric to show that any hope of reconciliation or peaceful coexistence with its declared principal enemy is not possible for now.